On the second day of the four-day truce between Israel and Hamas, Israel's prison service said it was preparing to release 42 Palestinian prisoners in exchange for 14 Israeli hostages. There has been no official Israeli announcement on the number of hostages to be freed today, though Hamas handed a list of names to the authorities late yesterday. The first day of the four-day truce between Israel and Hamas had ended yesterday with the swapping of 24 Hamas-held hostages with 39 Palestinian detainees. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Diplomatic efforts for the release of Nepali student Bipin Joshi from Hamas captivity continue. Nepalese embassy in Israel expresses confidence that Bipin will be released soon. Koshi Province Chief Minister Kedar Karki amends the budget introduced by the previous province government through an ordinance. Budget replacement bill presented at the province assembly. Private sector discontent on the preparations to raise tax on electric vehicles. Government accused of going against its own announcement. Investors of hydroelectricity sector also unhappy. And Pokhara Thunders defeat FC Chitwan 1-0 to register a winning start at the Nepal Super League. Lalitpur City also blank Lumbini 2-0. The Nepalese embassy in Israel has said that they are uncertain whether Nepali student Bipin Joshi, who has been held hostage by Hamas, will be released in the second prisoner swap. The embassy, meanwhile, has expressed confidence that with diplomatic efforts and support from international organizations, Bipin will be released soon. The Nepalese ambassador to Israel, Kantipur, said that the release of Nepali student Bipin Joshi, who has been held hostage by Hamas militants, has been prioritized and that diplomatic efforts are underway for the same. Ambassador Rizal said that the list of hostages that Hamas will release is issued only a short while in advance. Therefore, they are uncertain if Bipin is among the 50 hostages who will be freed within the four-day ceasefire. 1,200 people, including 10 Nepali students, had been killed in Israel in the attack by Hamas militants on 7th of October last month. Meanwhile, more than 200 people, including Nepali student Bipin Joshi, had been held hostage. Koshi Province government has tabled a bill to replace the ordinance issued earlier to unveil the budget for the current fiscal year at the provincial assembly today. Koshi Province Chief Minister Kedar Karki, who is also overseeing the portfolio of the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Planning in the provincial government, tabled the bill to replace the ordinance issued earlier to unveil the budget for the current fiscal year at the provincial assembly. The bill replaces the ordinance introduced by former Chief Minister Hikmat Kumar Karki in September. The 36.74 billion rupee replacement bill has allocated 12.68 billion rupees for recurrent spending, which consists of regular expenses such as salaries and allowances. It has set aside 20.38 billion rupees for capital spending, 10 million rupees for financial management, and 3.66 billion rupees for transfer of local levels. The province government had introduced the budget for the fiscal year 2080-81 through the ordinance. In August, the province entered a budget holiday after the deadline for the budget ordinance either to be endorsed as it is or be replaced with a new bill ended without taking the needed action. Chief Minister Karki, who had assumed the post with the support of the main opposition CPN-UML and 8 members of his party, has yet to give a full shape to the Council of Ministers. Meanwhile, CPN-UML has already withdrawn its support lent to form the province government. Controversial medical business person Durga Prasad led group held a protest in the capital's Sifal earlier today. Prasad had also attended the protest program. Prasad's supporters held demonstrations in Sifal ground amid tight security. Prasad had reached the protest site from his residence in Bhaktapur along with his supporters. During the protest, he criticized the government, saying that the general public had been deprived of their rights. The Prasad-led group had held demonstrations in the capital's Balku on Thursday. The authority had prevented the group from holding demonstrations in the capital's Tinkuni yesterday. The government has announced of encouraging the use of electric vehicles through policies and programs and budget on several occasions. The Ministry of Energy 2 years ago had announced that all the entities under it will use electric vehicles. On the contrary, the government has geared up to increase tax on electric vehicles, citing impact on government revenue due to the increase in the import of electric vehicles. 21% of Nepal's trade deficit, which has reached 1.4 trillion rupees, is due to petroleum products. The government has the policy to promote the use of electric vehicles to minimize the country's trade deficit. The government has a target of increasing the use of electric vehicles by 25% within the year 2025 and achieving 90% private and 60% public vehicles by 2030. On the contrary, experts have blamed the government for its discouraging plan that includes an increased tax on EVs. Former Finance Minister Yuvraj Khatiwara, through the budget of the fiscal year 2077-78, had imposed up to 80% tax on electric and hybrid vehicles. The tax rates had been revised later following widespread criticisms. Tax on electric vehicles that are above 100 kilowatt had been increased last fiscal year. The government this fiscal year has geared up to impose up to 10% tax on electric vehicles that are above 50 kilowatts. The electric vehicle entrepreneurs have also become agitated with the government's unstable policy. 1,481 electric vehicles between 51 and 100 kilowatts worth 4.3 billion rupees have been imported within the first 4 months of the ongoing fiscal year. The investors of hydroelectricity have also been discontent with the government's plan to increase tax on electric vehicles. The pollution caused by excessive use of petroleum products has been contributing in climate change. Therefore, promotion of the use of electric vehicles through green energy has intensified in recent times. Nepal has also adopted such policy, however, it has yet to be implemented. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces regarding ways to promote electric vehicles. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
सडक खण्डहरु छ त्यो चाहिँ विद्युतीय सवारी साधनको लागि चाहिँ उपयुक्त छैन सरकारले सर्वप्रथम चाहिँ त्यस सडकहरुमा चाहिँ जोड दिनुपर्छ
जुनसुकै सरकारी कार्यालयहरुले पनि विद्युतीय सवारी साधन नै खरिद गर्नुपर्छ
विद्युतीय साधनमा लगाउने कर चाहिँ छुट गरिदियो भने
सरकारले अनुदानका कार्यक्रमहरुलाई पनि अलि प्रोत्साहन दिनुपर्छ
विभिन्न ठाउँहरुमा चार्जिङ स्टेशनको संख्यालाई चाहिँ बढाउनुपर्छ
जहाँ विद्युतै पुगेको छैन अब त्यहाँ विद्युतीय गाडीको प्रवर्धनको लागि भन्दा पनि सरकारले पहिला चाहिँ विद्युत पुगाउनतर्फ ध्यान दियो भने चाहिँ यो कार्यक्रम प्रभावकारी हुन्छ
जति पनि पुरानो गाडीहरु छ त्यसलाई चेन्ज गरेर इलेक्ट्रोनिक भनौं न इलेक्ट्रोनिक गाडीहरुको चाहिँ एकदम सुविधा गरिदिनु पर्यो
विद्युतको चाहिँ उत्पादनको मात्रा बढाउनु पर्यो
कर छुट गर्न सक्यो भने त्यो नै उपयुक्त हुन्छ
विद्युतीय सवारीको लागि पर्याप्त आवश्यक परेको वस्तुहरुलाई चाहिँ पर्याप्त रूपमा सरकारले प्रवर्तन गर्नु पर्यो
पुराना गाडीहरुलाई चाहिँ विस्थापित गरेर हटाएर नयाँ चाहिँ विद्युतीय गाडीहरु प्रयोग गर्दाखेरि उपयुक्त हुन्छ
राजस्वहरु अलिकति कम गर्नु पर्यो कम हुँदाखेरि के छ भने सबै मान्छेले निकाल्नु लोभिन्छन्
कम्पनीले ठाउँ ठाउँमा यसको लागि चार्ज गर्ने यसको लागि गराइदियो भने झनै राम्रो हुनेछ
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what's your say in the dispute among government bodies regarding employment promotional program? 18% voted for A, different priorities. 64% voted for B, program announced in haste. And 18% voted for C, excuse after lack of resources. Here's today's question. What is the reason behind the delay in construction of temporary shelters for the victims of earthquake? Your options are A, government's irresponsibility, B, lack of resources, and C, procedural delay. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international update. Hamas's military wing, the Qassam Brigades, has said it has decided to delay the release of the second batch of hostages until Israel commits to letting aid lorries into northern Gaza. A statement by its military wing says Israel has broken the terms of the truce deal over aid deliveries to northern Gaza. Earlier today, Israeli media outlets, including the Jerusalem Post, reported security sources saying that Egypt had received a list from Hamas of 13 hostages to be released today. The office of the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, said in a statement, Israeli security officials were reviewing the list after his government's vow to work for the release of all hostages taken by Hamas in an attack on Israel on 7th of October. The pause in the fighting was the first such break, with both sides saying hostilities would resume as soon as the truce ends. U.S. President Joe Biden expressed hope the pause could be extended. However, Biden said there was a real chance of extending the truce, adding that the pause was a critical opportunity to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. He declined to speculate how long the Israel-Hamas war would last. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Pokhara Thunders have started the Nepal Super League with a winning start by defeating FC Chiton 1-0. In the match played at the capital's Dasrat Stadium today, the first half ended in a goalless stalemate. Moses finally broke the deadlock by scoring a goal in the 72nd minute, utilizing a cross by Stefan Anor to give Pokhara Thunders a 1-0 lead. No more goals were scored in the remainder of the match, and Pokhara sealed the 1-0 victory over FC Chiton. With this, Pokhara have secured full 3 points in their first match of the tournament. Meanwhile, Lalitpur City also blanked Lumini FC 2-0 to register a win in their first match of the Nepal Super League. In today's second match played at the Dasrat Stadium, Lalitpur scored both the goals in the first half. Lalitpur opened the scoring in the 26th minute as Dinesh Henjan scored from inside the box after receiving a cross from Papa Abau Kebe. Skipper Ananta doubled Lalitpur's lead in the 31st minute through a header, making good use of the corner kick by Anil Maharjan. Lalitpur held on to the lead in the remainder of the match to seal the 2-0 win over Lumini FC. Tomorrow's Nepal Super League match features a clash between Birganj United and Dhangadi FC. Karnali Province defeated host Madan Bhandari Sports Academy Red by 4 wickets to register a consolation win at the KP Oli T20 Cup cricket tournament. In the match played in Pokhara today, Madan Bhandari Sports Academy Red elected to bat first and posted 109 runs in the allotted 20 overs, losing 6 wickets. Roshan Gautam top scored for Madan Bhandari Sports Academy Red with an unbeaten 30. Prakash Jaisi was the pick of the Karnali bowlers, grabbing 2 wickets. Chasing a victory target of 110 runs, Karnali Province romped home, reaching the target in 18.1 overs with the loss of 6 wickets. Dipendra Rawat guided Karnali home with an unbeaten 43. Santosh Yadav and Biprashan KC with 2 wickets each were the leading wicket takers for Madan Bhandari Sports Academy Red. With this, all the matches in Group A have been completed. Bagmati Province have advanced to the semi-finals from the group, remaining undefeated. Karnali finished with 1 win, while host Madan Bhandari Sports Academy Red remained winless. Meanwhile, Armed Police Force thumped Lumini Province by 84 runs to register their first win at the KP Oli T20 Cup cricket tournament ongoing in Pokhara. APF batted first after winning the toss and posted a challenging total of 151 runs, losing 7 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. In reply, Lumini managed to score only 67 runs in the allotted 20 overs, losing 9 wickets. Gandaki and APF have 2 points each in Group B. Gopi Chandra Parki of Armed Police Force has lifted the Nepal Gun Marathon title, while Dhangadi's Santoshi Dhading's Santoshi Shrestha has won the women's half marathon title. Prior to this, Nepal Gun Marathon winner Parki had also won the 6th edition of the marathon. Parki won the title, leaving behind defending champion Khadak Bahadur Khadga of Nepal Army. Along with the title, Parki bagged 200,000 rupees in prize money. Parki said the weather was a bit challenging this time around. Meanwhile, Santoshi Shrestha from Dhading has secured a hat-trick in the title wins towards the women's half marathon. Prior to this, Santoshi had won the previous 2 editions of the women's half marathon. Along with the title, Santoshi won a cash prize of 75,000 rupees. Fulmati Rana secured the 2nd position in the women's half marathon, while Pushpa Bhandari finished 3rd. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.